Guten Tag. Willkommen bei Hanovi Global Network. Ich hoffe, es geht dir gut. Ich hoffe, du hast einen tollen Samstag. Ein Bruder ist vor die Not geboren. Welcome to Hanovi Global Network. I hope all is well with you. I hope you're having a great Saturday. And I want you to know that a brother is born for adversity. Remember that. A brother is born for adversity. Brother is not when you're having good times. You don't see who is a true brother. But a brother is when you are in difficulty. The one that comes to your aid, that bands with you and fights everyone else. That is a real brother. You know, in many respects, I was very fortunate growing up. I had so much brothers. I'm not talking about familial brothers, but just brothers, true brothers. I had so much sisters, not familial sisters, okay? But I had so many people, so many different people that showed me love from every different direction. Aunties, and I'm not talking about physical, familial aunties, okay? But aunties. And I had ultimate love from my parents. And I had a mother who was a woman of extremely strong personality, okay? And I'm sure you guys may realize there's no mystery here. And the thing about it, she didn't give me that coochie baby love. She gave me that strong, secure, grounded, robust love. That exactly what a man needed. And one thing is for sure, there was an unmeasured security. And one thing is for sure, there was an unmeasured, unrivaled. And one thing is for sure, there was an unmeasured, unrivaled sense of security when I was growing up as a young man. Because there was one surety that if someone were to pull a strand of hair from my person, they would have had hell to pay. You know, I always say as a little red man youth growing up, I was so lucky. God didn't give me one mother, but he probably gave me about 5. To this day, there are friends who are just friends, but people believe that we are brothers, and in some respects, we are. And they would look at their mother and say, your son. So this is a level of love, true love, unrivaled love that I grew up with. So there's nobody in this world that can fool me about what true love is. And I'm not talking about that mushy-mashy, I love you. No, real love that is shown by actions, not sentimental, wishy-washy love. And the interesting thing about it is most of the women I grew up with, they themselves were very strong-willed women. So when you see who I am, you must understand that my personality was forged in the cauldrons of strong men and women. As I told you, the feeling of security, the feeling of safety that I grew up with is unrivaled. So I was blessed, okay? I grew around people who showed me love, immeasurable love. And I descended from a true warrior queen. So I know what is love when I see love. No one can be pretentious with me and tell me about love. And I can spot the fake pretenders who pretend to love me and to love the Grenadian people. And today, we are going to expose them. So you see a bunch of pretenders that is currently part of this administration and their associates coming to the Grenadian people and trying to force a traitorous brotherhood on them. They are trying to tell you that people who are supposedly your brothers, who sold you out to the white man, are all of a sudden your beloved, long-lost brothers. This is what they're trying to spring on you. And they themselves are trying to encourage the Grenadian people to act like orphan children, going to so-called brothers who sold us out and begging them for love. Well, I have to tell you that my brothers and sisters are Grenadian brothers and sisters from the Gevurge land, the Spice land, because they are the ones who gave me shelter when I was cold. They are the ones who fed me when I was hungry. And they are the ones who we fought tooth and nail, but at the end of the day, we banded together and fought others. These are my brothers and sisters. Not people who sold out my ancestors to the white man for profit. And in some respects, these charlatans, these socialist Marxists, and these imposters today who are collaborating with these people who sold us out, they themselves are again selling us out to these people who sold us out. And I understand, and I want you to understand why they're doing it. They're not doing it for free. They're not doing it for naught. They're doing it because they have benefits to be gained from what they're doing. And the people who they are trying to now sell us out to are shrewd, are smart, are cunning, and are using them to assist them in selling out the Grenadian people. So I want you to be aware of what's going on. These people who are trying so hard to convince you to accept, to love people who sold you out to the white man, watch them. They are now complicit in another sale of the Grenadian people. After all we have been through, after all our struggles, after all our camp, and we have overcome, now these so-called brothers who sold us out want to pretend that they're willing to embrace us. They themselves have an agenda. They themselves have an agenda. That's why you must be sober. You must be vigilant. And do not let down your guard. Else you will perish and fall victim to the people who may have nefarious agendas for you and your land, the Gevurge land. And you, like lions protecting your pride, protecting your kinder. And by kinder, I mean children. You should be vigilant with your sons, your daughters. Because no one will love your sons and daughters as you love your sons and daughters. So this is a stark message of my Gevurge man in the Gevurge land, that now more than ever, you've got to be vigilant and you've got to be sober. Do not allow yourselves to be intoxicated. Do not allow shiny objects dangled in front of you to intoxicate you and seduce you. If you want to know who people are, you must look at their past actions. Just imagine the European conquered many African people, okay, and brought them to the Caribbean. And ask yourself this question. Why weren't there no memories, collective psychological memories by the people who were left behind in Africa? Because, just think about it. Think about any village in Grenada. If a group of foreigners or strangers come into that village, okay, and capture some people of that village, guess what? For decades to come, the people within that community, within that village, will remember that capture And we remember the pain and sorrow that a capture created. And some way within that village, it will be in the collective psychology of the people. The question is, why is that not in the collective psychology of the black man on the African continent as to what was done? A matter of fact, if the enemy or foreigners come into a village in Grenada and tries to capture some people from that village, guess what? The people I know and grew up with might band together to fight them, might form a warring party to attack them. So the question is, why didn't these people form a warring party? Why didn't they go looking? Look at the Arab man, what he does. When people, okay, in other countries that he wasn't even born to, but because he's ethnically related to them, he will go and they'll go and fight, what they call it in their religion, some sort of holy war to go and help their brothers and sisters in other nations. The European man did the same thing. When his brothers and sisters were in trouble, guess what? He will go and engage in a holy war against the people who are fighting them. Okay? And to this day, you will see when the European man is fighting his enemies, his fellow European brothers and sisters will join in that fight against their enemies. So the question is, how come the African man on the continent, knowing that his brothers and sisters in other nations were being oppressed, were being fought down, how come he didn't send people to assist him in some sort of holy war against the enemies? For centuries, even after slavery was finished, black folks all over the world in different nations were suffering. How come the motherland, quote unquote, didn't send warriors to other nations to help them fight to protect fellow, quote unquote, Africans? But today, after we have struggled by ourselves, stood up to our enemies, banded together and fought them and shed our blood or tears, now that everything is done and everything is cool, and while we still have struggles, don't get me wrong, but there's a relative calm and peace, and we've achieved certain things, all of a sudden, that long lost brother wants to come now and pretend that he's, so loving a big brother. And then you have those among us, okay? Those quote unquote influencers, those quote unquote politicians who are trying to encourage the Grenadian people to embrace these people who sold us out and also abandoned us and never sent anything to help us out in our fight. So I want to call him out. I want to call him out. You know who they are. Some of them in social media, some of them within the political sphere. These people who are once again trying to sell out the Grenadian people. Look at them. Look at them carefully. Open your eyes. Do not sleep on them, because they are not doing it for free. They are not doing it for naught. They themselves are being paid to wholesale sell you out Grenadians. It is time the Grenadians become awakened to what is happening. It is time the Grenadians become awakened to what is taking place in their country. If you continue to sleep, you will wake up one day and realize that you will be dominated and back again in slavery. Okay? Not from the European man, but sadly by your quote-unquote brothers and sisters, and sadly by people of your own who will be complicit with them and aid in selling you out. Grenadians, be warned. So again, my brothers and sisters of fellow Grenadians from the Gavers land who sheltered me, who fought with me, and who fed me when I was cold and hungry. Lang lebe das Geversland, meine Treue and Liebe gehören dir. Long live the Spice Land. My loyalty and love is endeared to you. In diesem Sinne, guten Tag.